Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today I need to make an arrangement in a very unique container. This is actually a container that our client brought and she wanted a maroon and white arrangement in this container. So that's what we're going to do. I am going to start out with, so first of all, I have filled the vessel with fresh water, and I took 2 pieces of fresh floral foam that have been soaked. I placed one in the bottom and then I stacked the second block on top. Now what that did was, it's going to give me a little bit more design room. When you go to put everything down in the water, you have to make sure that all the stems are in the water. Therefore, everything kind of gets shortened. With me putting fresh floral foam, I'm going to be able to bump up the size of the arrangement. So this is, again, soaked fresh floral foam, and I'm going to start out with a little bit of foliage. So this is leatherleaf fern, and I am just going to take it and go all the way around the container. And we are just going to add just a base of foliage to our container. It's going to just help me cover up that floral foam. It's always important that you cover up those mechanics. So go ahead and use a little bit of foliage. If you even go out and cut it out of your yard, use a little bit of foliage to help cover those mechanics. Okay. So there is my leatherleaf fern. Next, I have a few stems of variegated pittosporum. So I'm going to just take and tuck those in. Now I like variegated pit because it has extra little stems. So you get a little more for your money. You can kind of break it in half and use it in 2 pieces. And this one has 3 or 4, so I'm just going to take and break those little pieces off and just tuck it right in. Okay, next I have a little bit of Israeli ruscus. Pretty grasses. This is Israeli ruscus, just going to give us a little more greenery. And then we have a few aspidistra leaves that I'm going to set to the side and we will use last. Okay, so next I'm going to come in with a little bit of myrtle. So myrtle is, I love myrtle, and I love the fact that it's a tall foliage, so it gives us a lot of height. Now, this arrangement, we may have to adjust this camera so that it's not cutting off the arrangement. I would rather cut off the vase than cut off the arrangement. So we're gonna adjust the camera real quick. Hey Owen,
yes.
Come in and adjust this camera so they're seeing the height of the arrangement. If you'll back me up.
Just zoom it out.
Because they're not going to be able to see the height of the arrangement.
How about that?
Can you zoom out a little more? There you go. That way they can see my height. I'm afraid if I get too high, they're not going to see it. Okay, so we back the camera up just a little bit so that you can see how these flowers are going to go into this tall arrangement. I'm taking a little myrtle. The wonderful part about myrtle as a foliage is it gives me some height in my arrangement. And it smells great. I love the smell of myrtle. I think it just smells pretty. Okay, so there is a little bit of myrtle. Next we're going to come on in with our flowers. Hey Owen, run in there and grab that little thing of quick dip for me, please, sir. So being a maroon and white arrangement, we're going to use a little bit of Safari Sunset. Safari Sunset is in the Protea family, and it gives us that fantastic maroon color that we're looking for in this arrangement. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now Safari Sunset we can get all year long. which I really like. Being in a college town with our college being maroon, that's a hard color. It's a hard color to get all year round. So it's really nice in the fact that Safari Sunset is very easy to come by. Okay, so there is our Safari Sunset tucked in. Next we're going to come in with some mass flowers. We're going to use some hydrangeas, and they're going to give us weight down here around the arrangement. So I'm going to take this hydrangea, remove the foliage, cut it at an angle, dip it for about 5 to 7 seconds, and tuck it right into that fresh floral foam. Now, when I was placing the foam in this container, I made sure that there was plenty of water in the vessel so that it continued to water the foam. Now that's very important because if the foam is not touching water, it doesn't continue to drink the water and to provide water for the flowers themselves. So I made sure, and I will make sure when this is delivered to the client's house, that they know to continue to add water to the arrangement. A lot of times when an arrangement is placed in a container that you can't see the water line, you forget to add water. And so it's always important when you deliver an arrangement to someone, you remind them, I'm thirsty, add water, because a lot of times people forget, and then their flowers don't last as long as they should. Next, we're going to come in with a few stems of white stock. So I have beautiful, fragrant white stock. I'm going to take that stem. Stock I am also going to dip in Quick Dip. Now, I will tell you, I have not ever taken full advantage of Quick Dip as a hydrating solution. And I have been watching other designers design, and they use Quick Dip on everything, roses and stock and hydrangeas. And so I decided, you know what?
Okay, yeah.
We have Quick Dip, let's use it.
Alright, can you watch that?
All right.
You said Nell,
So
N-E-L-L?
there is our white stock. Next, I'm going to come in with some large white mums. So we have some pretty white mums.
And what's the zipper fall, please?
I'm going to tuck one here. I'm going to turn the arrangement around so you can see it.
Oh, just
Tuck one there. Now, mums are very hardy flowers, long lasting, and honestly come in so many beautiful varieties that I am so thankful for mums. Okay, so there are our white mums. Next, we're going to come in with a few red roses, or a deep colored, almost maroon rose. So this is what we call, this variety is called a heart rose. Heart roses are a very deep red, almost burgundy. I'm going to take my floral knife and I am going all the way down this stem and removing these thorns. Now, that does not extend the life of the flower. It really doesn't do anything but keep that flower from biting me, and that's important. Next, what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and wire my rose, and a lot of that has to do with it's something that I've always done, so to me it's important. I would love for this arrangement to last as long as possible, so it is enjoyed for a long period of time. And so I know that if I wire these roses, it's going to keep their little heads from dipping. So I'm just removing these thorns. This variety has so many thorns that it's almost, I mean, it's ridiculous. But they're beautiful roses, and so I choose to purchase them anyway with all of their thorns. So I'm going to wire these heads.
Yeah, oh, we could do spring colors for you.
Your nose is itching. I have had allergies so bad today.
I'll write that down for
It feels like spring here in Mississippi today. We are going to be up to, it almost feels like summer, up to 85 degrees today. Now today is February the 22nd, and it's going to be 85 degrees in Mississippi. Now that is ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous in February anywhere you go.
So I don't know. We can do something.
And that's probably the reason we catch colds and we stay sick, is because tomorrow it'll be 32.
Be closer to 25? Is that
All right, so let's see. I'm just about finished wiring my roses.
I'm saying like maybe like 3 flowers.
This one's wired, but I'm gonna remove some of these thorns.
We could do like a wrapped rose for you if you like. We need to do a rose with
All right. Okay, so I'm going to take my rose, I'm going to cut it at an angle, and I'm going to dip it in my quick dip, count to about 7, and I'm just going to tuck that rose right down into that arrangement. So it's just that pretty burgundy color. Cut this one at an angle, dip it, 5, 6, 7, and tuck it right in. So I am just placing these flowers all the way around in this container because we want flowers to be all the way around. It's going to be set on like a buffet table that you would go all the way around that table. These roses are beautiful. All right, so I have all of my roses in my arrangement. So you can see it's pretty all the way around. Next, we're gonna come in with just a few yin yang daisies. So yin yangs are just a variety of daisies, a smaller, very petite daisy. Just gonna give us just a little pop of white here and there. These are so happy, I think. I mean, overall flowers are happy, but these little yin yangs are so happy, I think. There's some of my favorites. Whoops. Need that myrtle, so let me put him back. So I'm removing any of the foliage that needs to be removed. There we go. All right, last but not least, the last flower type, and this is really not a flower, it's really just a berry. I'm gonna remove some of that foliage, and I'm gonna pop it, and I'm going to tuck that little berry in. Now these are called hypericum berries or coffee berries. They do come in lots of colors and varieties. But what we have done with these, they were a little more red than we needed them to be. So we popped them with a little bit of Just for Flowers flower paint to add just a hint of maroon, which really is nice. Hypericum berries hold paint very well, so you can make them work with your color scheme perfectly. So there are all of our blooms or flowers and berries that we're going to add to the arrangement. Now last, to finish off the arrangement, I'm going to add just a hint more of foliage. So we have some seeded eucalyptus, which if you've watched any of my videos is really some of my very favorite thing to use. So I'm going to take that eucalyptus and I am going to come all the way around. Now see here how it's just dripping kind of down that container. It gives us a little bit of interest, and it keeps it from looking like we've just put an ice cream cone on the top of the arrangement, on top of the container. I mean, just an ice cream scoop. So it's not just a perfect little dollop on top of the container. This kind of gives us a little bit of dripping down the edge of the container and softens that edge a little bit. So I'm just going all the way around. in this container, and I'm just taking small pieces of this eucalyptus and I'm just tucking it right into that floral foam. I'm adding a little bit up into the arrangement also. Now you can see me wiping off the container. The container has a little bit of leather leaf residue on it, and so that's what I keep wiping off. All right, let's add one more little piece. Tuck it right in there. Okay, so there is our seeded eucalyptus that gives us a little bit of movement in this arrangement. Next, I'm going to take these couple of stems of aspidistra. I'm actually going to wipe them off on my blue jeans because they have a little bit of dirt on them. I'm going to take it and cut it at an angle and just tuck it right into that arrangement. Now what that does is just kind of give us a little bit more texture, a little bit of a different variety of foliage. I'm going to be really honest. To me, foliage is what makes an arrangement so pretty. Now don't get me wrong, you have to have flowers, right? But oh, I love foliage and I enjoy working with it. All right, guys, there is our arrangement that will go on a buffet table in maroon and white. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about how we design flowers, where we get our flowers, all of the things, don't hesitate to drop us a comment right down below, and we are happy to answer any questions you might have. Be sure to check us out over on Facebook. We do live videos there every day. We also do live videos here on YouTube and over on TikTok. So check us out on all of those social media outlets. We'd love to have you follow us there also. If you are not already subscribed to our channel, be sure to subscribe to our channel down below and hit that little bell. It will give you notifications when we have a new video. Guys, have a great afternoon and we will see you all real soon.